Yo guys, what's up? It's Cherry here, coming at you guys with the week 5 of the oh my god, I'm getting my leagues mixed up. Week 5 of the PMU. Your Roast Tower Copper Rogers are going against the OGalbina, coach of the Miami Mints, in a week 5 showdown. Now, before I play this and go any further, I just also want to say that yet again, I'm so thankful that I was invited in a league with all of these amazing people. I'm excited for all of my opponents that are ahead, and I'm excited for all the people that I've played thus far. My season is not really going the best, and you also might be wondering what happened to week 4. So story time. What happened in week 4? I got decently aggravated at how the end of that game went. Pretty much, I got the lowest roll on a Haxorus Scarf Earthquake on the Coco. It was like 99.1 to 117 or 15. I got the 99 roll. And then after that, my Galvantula got poisoned with Poison Jab. And then to get differential, my Feeny got critted by the Poison Jab from Mega Metacham. So if I landed that Earthquake, I'm pretty sure I won that game. But Theorymon's at this point, it's all over. It's all in the past, and we're here to bounce back. So yet again, I'm just so happy. Like, even with how bad my season is going right now, we are currently 1-3, if I'm not mistaken. Trying not to hint how this match went. I'm just so thankful that Kurt and Grandmaster D-Ray invited me into this league with all these amazing people, because honestly guys, winning is fun and all, but you get most of the experience from losing, and you get to learn from your losses. And I'm just so thankful also for all the people who upload. Shout out to all of you. I watch every single one of your videos, and it's honestly like amazing to see your side of what you guys were thinking, and that just helps me as a battler to grow. So I am thankful so much to all of you for doing what you do. And yeah, so here we are with week 5 against Owen, and Owen is a very good player. Owen is the champion of BBR. NCP. NCP. Yeah, that's the league with his. He had a Moltres, I believe, and it was against Kurt with Celesteela, Disneylanders. Yeah, he is the champion. He is currently playing in BBR. He played in BBL and made playoffs. He played in NCP. He is very active in the Wi-Fi draft league community, along with other people that I'm in this league with. But our work is definitely cut out for us, and because of our record, I'm like thirsty for a win. And our matchup honestly is not all that good. Just looking at everything that's here, Slowbro was a big gigantic nuisance for my team, and in team prep I thought I had him, but in all actuality, like at the team preview screen, it was rough. It was definitely rough to look at. But I'm not going to hold you guys up any further. I am going to click the play button and let's wall out. Ooh, I chose Necrozma. I like that. I have taste. Ooh. So he led Shaman, which I thought was a terrible lead on my end because I led Feeny. And the sad thing about this was I was like, what if he leads Shaman? Like, but I was like, nah, like Feeny's pretty much a middle ground lead. But because he led Shaman, this pretty much forces me out, and he can get off a free Seed Flare. I personally didn't really see, I thought Seed Flare was pretty free, even with the Incineroar obviously coming in. But Owen just goes that one step further, being who he is, and clicks the Earth Power. And we take absolutely nothing, which told me that he wasn't really offensive on this thing. And unfortunately for him, he'll now know that we're AV, and we're pretty much close to max HP, max Spadef AV. This was meant to take on Mega Alakazam, as I had like literally no answers for it. But here, I decided to click U-turn to get some momentum, because you're never seeing it on me. Looking now, knockoff was probably the play, but knowing me, I love my pivot and I love my momentum, so I felt in the game that this was a lot better for me in order to get some switch initiative. But I switch out on instant and I go into Kangaskhan, and I am EV'd on this Kangaskhan. I'm Bulky Kang to outspeed Bulky Rotoms. And I think on this play, even with the Slowbro obviously coming in, I just wanted to get off a return just to see and scout, like, you know, what type of Slowbro you are. I was pretty much expecting fully Fizz Death because Kangaskhan is very, very scary to deal with. And yeah, so we do Mega Evolve here as we have to Mega Evolve turn 1, and we do click the return, and as you guys can see, this does a lot, and I knew right then and there that was a crit. And you guys can now see that it is indeed Rocky Helmet, and that was one of my most feared sets in prep. But here I have to switch out. I don't want to take any more chip, and I go into my Slowbro answer being the Feeny, but Owen being Owen makes an amazing play and goes right back out into Rotom, really applying pressure against me, and now a Volt Switch is really free on his end. And I was pretty bulky Feeny, so I was like, I don't want to take this damage, but I don't want him to get that big amount of switch initiative, because he's going to Volt Switch and probably go into Shaman here, which he indeed does, and I can get off some Moonblast chip on this and kind of see what type of Shaman you are. So I do click the Moonblast, and it does quite a bit of damage, but I know, and with leftovers as well, I now know that it's decently bulky Shaman, and I couldn't really stay in on this thing. I still thought in the battle that Sea Flare was very, very free, and Owen makes a double into the Piloswine, predicting my switch into Incineroar, but instead I make a probably middle ground play into the Ferrothorn. And as you guys can see on this play, we both decided to trade rocks. I thought at the moment, I'm like, okay, this is fine. I just need to remove them later. No big deal. And something just takes rocks upon switching, and I don't really think Owen's gonna like that too much. But he switches out Piloswine. It goes immediately into Shaman. Here I click the Leech Seed button, which I guess looking now, there was no reason he would stay in on me. I'm a whole Ferrothorn. The worst he does is click Superpower, so I don't really know why I did that. In all actuality, I don't know if I had Knockoff on this set. I think Knockoff is actually really, really good prep on my end if I have it, but if I did have the Knockoff, then I think Knockoff was the play there, predicting the Shaman to come in, or like maybe the Coma-O. But here, I make a questionable play and stay in on the Shaman Hidden Power Fire to get off damage with Gyro Ball. And I do a lot of damage. And looking, probably my perspective on this during the battle was, oh, this is great damage. I'm fine with Ferrothorn taking this much just to get off that much against Shaman. But here, I obviously can't stay in because he two-shots me with Hidden Power Fire, and I go into the Hitmontop. The point of going into Hitmontop here was to get rid of rocks. I could not have rocks up for Incineroar. I also could not have rocks up for my Hoopa in the back, but he decides to click Synthesis here. Amazing prep on him, and all that damage with Gyro Ball was pretty much wasted in exchange for him Power Fire chip, which I can't necessarily get back. But here I'm at full, and I kind of thought Rapid Spin was pretty free. The worst he does is Sea Flare me, and I'd rather have rocks away than, you know, not. But here I click Rapid Spin, and he makes a great play and goes Rotom, because now he gets a free Defog here. There's no reason why he doesn't click Defog, but I decide to switch here. I think I go into the Mega Kang, which I agree with that play, actually. But yeah, he gets off a free Defog. Defog was so free. And then now on this turn, he can probably double out into the Slowbro. Slowbro was a huge problem for my team. I couldn't necessarily break it, especially a Slowbro with like Flamethrower as well. That just beats Ferrothorn. Like, I was just having a very, very rough time with this Slowbro. But here I reveal my wish. I was Bulky Kang this week. I think I was Wish 3 attacks this week, but I tried my best to counter Rocky Helmet Slowbro in the off chance that he did run it. as you guys can see he did. But on this play, I clicked Wish and I switched into my Incineroar. Now the thinking on this was, I thought he was gonna Scald, and Scald did like nothing to me, and I healed back like pretty much all my health from Wish, so it was pretty much a free switch in, just to click knock off that next turn. But here he actually makes a double into the Snowy, aka the Shaman, probably predicting my switch into the Feeny, because the Feeny did take quite a bit of damage from the Volt switch earlier. So here I decide to not try and get some momentum. I try and knock off some items to do some chip damage. So here comes Piloswine, and I'm like, okay, great, I can knock off your Eviolite here. This will be easier to take down now, not too worried about it. And here I'm like, I'm just gonna click U-turn, because you're gonna set rocks again. Probably at this point in the battle, Owen probably is starting to catch on that I can't really have rocks up. Rocks up for me is game over for me, especially if he is like sub Dragon Dance or sub Belly Drum Coma-O. Also, shout out to Josh for mocking me. It was really helpful. But here he has no ghost type. I'm clicking Rapid Spin. I cannot have these rocks up. I can't have them on my side. I can't. So I'm forced to Rapid Spin here. I wish the Rapid Spin buff was in Gen 7, but I Rapid Spin. And here, unfortunately, Owen is going to get free Volt Switch momentum. And honestly, I can't really stop that, which is unfortunate. But I go into Incineroar here, and because it's AV, I'm pretty much max HP, max Spadef, pretty much. So I should take anything this Ronom wants to throw at me. And it does quite a bit, and I realized that it was a crit. The crit wasn't really all that big of a deal, honestly. It just helped me realize that it was bulky. But here he goes into the thing I was scared of the most, being Coma-O. I was praying to the gods that this was not a substitute Dragon Dance set. I was like, please don't. And he clicks the substitute, and I'm like, God, please no. Because this puts me in a bad situation, because now I have to sack my Hitmontop to get rid of this substitute so that my Sash Hoopa in the back can get rid of this thing. Once again, shout out to Joshua for mocking me. I realized that this was a threat after he mocked me, and if he never mocked me, I probably wouldn't have brought the Hoopa set I did. But here, I'm forced to sack my one and only removal, most likely, to get rid of this sub. And this is a problem for me. But I decided I had Bullet Punch on this set for chip damage if I was like about to die against Florges, just to get out some more chip as he decides to click Drain Punch and OHKOs me, and without my Hoopa probably OHKOs the rest of my team. So this was quite a bad and interesting scenario that I was in, but I 100% go Hoopa here every single time. I don't have rocks up on my side. This is a free Psyshock here, and Owen is going to see that I am Sash. And after the match, he was like, Sash was an amazing brain. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I was expecting sub DD or sub Belly Drum. Thanks to the mocks. Once again, shout out Joshua for the mocks. But I was able to get rid of, I think, Owen's sweeper win con, honestly. But his win con, his MVP this game was definitely Slowbro. It applied so much pressure against my Kangaskhan. But here I'm going to save Hoopa because I kind of can save it as a sack. And I go into the Ferrothorn as he gets Volt Switch momentum and initiative once again. And honestly, I can't stop that. But he instead decides to go into Alakazam, and I'm in a very rough spot now. And I remember this play right here. I remember this turn specifically was the turn I thought the hardest. This turn, I was like, man, do you click Focus Blast here, or do you click Energy Ball predicting the Feeny? Like, Owen was making so many doubles and amazing plays. I attempted to adapt, but then I don't know. I was on the fence. I was like, maybe he clicks Energy Ball reading me. Psychic is also very free on his end. He may expect the Incineroar to come in, so he may click Focus Blast. But all in all, I was just hoping for a Focus Blast miss, because if he clicks Energy Ball, I live it. If he clicks Psychic, I live it. I can get off some damage with Gyro Ball here, which would be really good chip, even with Iron Barbs. and unfortunately he reveals the Focus Blast and he lands it. Kudos to him. I can never land my Focus Blast. But he does indeed kill our Ferrothorn, which is one less answer to the Slowbro, or attempted answer. But now I go into my actual answer to this thing, being the Incineroar, and I was like, you're not staying in on me. There's no way you stay in on me. As he doesn't, he goes immediately into Rotom, and I think I click the... Okay, Cherry. I'm going to defend myself for this play, because Knockoff was a really free play there, actually. But I'm going to defend myself. If you guys didn't notice, the Alakazam traced Iron Barbs, and because I removed probably my one and only removal for rocks, and Piloswine is still alive and healthy, I probably hard switched so that I didn't take the 1/8 from the Iron Barbs, because my health is pretty much... I need to be as healthy as possible so that I can continuously come in with Incineroar and pressure. So I guess that's what I was doing. I was probably anxious about the Iron Barbs, but I still think Knockoff there was a really, really good play, because Owen was never staying in on me anyway, but what do I know, right? So here I go into the Feeny on the Rotom double. Yet again, amazing play by Galbina. Absolutely amazing. Shows how much of an amazing battler he is. But here I am like, this is bad, because here he gets Volt Switch momentum, and that is bad. My team is so Volt Switch free, it's actually sad. But yet again, he clicks the Volt Switch here. He goes back into the Alakazam, and I think, was it this turn that I thought the hardest? It was 2 turns. It was the Ferrothorn, and it was this turn here as well. But I do click Moonblast, and it did a lot of damage. But here is another mind game. I was thinking, do you Energy Ball or Psychic what's in front of you, or do you Focus Blast predicting the Incineroar to come in? Which... I was pretty much in a sticky situation, and Owen was just making so many great plays. I was on the back foot throughout this entire battle. I struggled to deal with his momentum. He was getting momentum left and right, and I don't know, man. I was thinking really hard. I almost went to timer, my 90-second timer that you have at Gen 7. I literally almost went to 0. I literally was like, are you going to click Energy Ball, or are you going to click Focus Blast, predicting me to switch? Like, what are you going to do? And eventually, he makes a double into the Rotom, which was very, very free on his end. Very, very free. But eventually, I decided to switch into the Hoopa, sacking the Hoopa, which I thought was a really, really good play on my end, because it covered the Focus Blast play, and it also covered if he clicked Psychic or Energy Ball. I didn't really need Hoopa for the rest of the match, considering it was my answer to set up Komao, and maybe... depending on his speed investment, I could maybe get off an attack and steal the Rotom's leftovers, which could help me out in the end game. But here he make the double in the Rotom, I make the switch into the Hoopa, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get off some damage. If you outspeed me, you do. If you don't, you don't. And I clear off a Shadow Ball. I do a lot of damage to this thing, and as you guys can see, I steal his leftovers, which during the game I was like, that's good. But going towards the end game, maybe it wasn't fully good. But here he gets yet again Volt Switch initiative into the Shaman, and now on this play I'm pretty much forced to go Incineroar, honestly. If I don't go Incineroar, I'm crazy. I go Kang. What are you doing? I'm probably gonna get a Wish off here, actually. But here he just makes the switch into the Slowbro. It's so free. Especially now that Feeny is weakened, it's just the freest thing ever to go into Slowbro. But I do get off the Wish here, and actually I am pretty clear to switch or click Return. But he actually makes a double into the Rotom, and I click Earthquake here because I didn't really want to take the Rocky Helmet chip, but I was doing nothing to him anyway. I don't know why I didn't just return there. But I do get off another wish because I was kind of thinking he was going to click Volt Switch here to get some momentum because it was very, very free. As I keep saying, Volt Switch is so free. But he does indeed click Volt Switch, and he goes into the Piloswine. And this was... Piloswine was such a huge problem. Rocks on his end was very, very free, and it also stopped my Incineroar coming in left and right. And he just sets up rocks. And now on this play, I'm like, okay, I need to get Feeny healthy. Feeny is the only way I beat Slowbro and have a chance, honestly. So he clicks Ice Shard because he doesn't need Piloswine anymore. It did what it needed to do. He got up rocks, and rocks put a lot of pressure on Incineroar. So on this play, I'm like, I live anything this Piloswine could throw at me. It's obviously bulky. I live any hit. Even an Earthquake, I'm going to take Stealth Rock, and I can get the Wish off. I can be at higher HP, and I can pretty much pressure even the Shaman from coming in, forcing it to click Seed Flare. So he clicks Earthquake, predicting me to go into Feeny and covering the Incineroar switch. And as you guys can see, he crits me, which was honestly unfortunate. But honestly, it didn't really matter for the in-game of the match. It just shortened the long battle that we would have had ahead of us. But now I'm in a situation where I need to get as many kills as possible to help my differential, because there's no way I break the Slowbro now. Slowbro plus Megazam plus Shaman, because at this point he pretty much sacks Shaman off here, or he goes Slowbro, forces me into thinking that he's going to stay in and do whatever type of shenanigan he wants to, because it's Rocky Helmet. Man, this thing was an absolute threat, and I was having such a rough time. But he's gonna click Scald here. It's gonna do like little to nothing. I was pretty much Fat Kang, and I had to rely on Misty Terrain to stop me from getting burned. But here I'm gonna click Return, and as you guys can see, I get another crit, which is mad. But that Rocky Helmet chip, that is 1/3 of my HP gone, which is unfortunate, and I am just taking so much damage from this thing. It's honestly ridiculous. But now here, I'm like, okay, I need to pivot into Incineroar somehow. Even if I take rocks, my overall goal for the game is to get differential at this point. Rather than sit in front of a Slowbro. But here he's gonna click Slack Off. Slack Off was very, very free. I couldn't do anything. Ooh, excuse me. I couldn't do anything versus the Slowbro there. I always lost 1/3 of my HP. But here he's gonna go into Shaman and sack it off, which was yet again an amazing play by Owen. I do click the knockoff here, trying my best to knock off that Rocky Helmet on that Slowbro if he decided to stay in. But here, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought that he would predict me to Flare Blitz, if I'm not mistaken, and double back into Slowbro. Because of how the match was going, I was like, maybe he'll predict me and save differential, because OGalbina is one of those players that really, really cares about his record and things like that. So I was like, maybe he's going to double back. But he had no reason to, honestly. But yeah, I clicked knockoff, predicting the Slowbro to come in. Yet again, I needed its Rocky Helmet gone. But after the knockoff, I knew he's sacking this thing, and now I'm just gonna click Flare Blitz and get the kill. And yeah, I get the kill, and I get another kill off, which is, I guess, really good. However, unfortunately, we live on 1 HP. Go me. Ooh. Oh, but he clicks Volt Switch here yet again. Volt Switch is very, very free on his end. Oh my god. He's just gonna go into Slowbro here. Slowbro pretty much wins him the game, and I can't really do anything about it. Even I probably have to get back-to-back crits on return in order to have a chance at this. But then Alakazam comes in. It traces Parental Bond, clicks Psychic, kills me as well. I don't really remember what else he had in the back. He had Rotom in the back as well, and I guess Rotom would have died as well to a return, but he just burned me at this point. And at this point, I was like, this match is pretty much over. I clicked Earthquake just for the fun of it. I didn't want to reveal my last move, which is Sucker Punch. I didn't want to reveal that. So you see how little that did against Slow Rose for me. But the match is pretty much over. I was like, do I have a chance? No, I'm burned. I have no chance to win this. And I was like, maybe he misclicks and switches out. Who knows? But at this point, I've pretty much given up. I don't really want to take much of Owen's time. I also don't really want to take a lot of my time. I was tired. I didn't really want to sit through this, especially since I was a burned Mega Kang. I wasn't doing anything. But here he clicks the Ice Beam, and he kills me with Skull Burn, and that's pretty much the game. GG to OGalbina. He played beautifully. I didn't really prep well for Volt Switch momentum. That was bad on me. But hey, you live, you learn. Like I said to some friends earlier, you get more experience from losing than you do winning. And honestly, leagues are about having fun. And even though I can get a little flustered and stressed sometimes, this is valuable experience that I can learn, especially from players like OGalbina and players like MidPokeMaster and 6-Foot Hacks and players like those, and players that I'll have to play in the future. It's valuable experience that I can learn from them and things like that. So once again, I'm very, very thankful that I was invited to the PMU. And thankful that I was able to battle OGalbina, excuse me, in the fashion that I did. But once again, GG's to OGalbina, and I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below, comment down below what you think I could have done better. You know, I'm loving that theme. I'm loving that theme. Comment down below what plays you thought I could have made better, even though that sentence doesn't make any sense, or I don't know what you liked about my team. I personally think the Hoopa saved my butt. The Sash Hoopa saved my butt. Without that, he swept my team with Como-O, and that would have been sad to see. I'd rather take a 3-0 than a 6-0, not gonna lie. But once again, thank you all for watching, and make sure to wash your hands, stay safe, and enjoy your family around you. That's all I request, that's all I ask, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!